Coming up next, terrifying video as a loose tire comes flying towards a local police cruiser. See what happens next.
Plus, a shortage of airline pilots is growing more severe. We have local reaction.
And would you cut off all your hair for a good cause? See why some people are saying no hair, don't care. The Center County Report starts now. Good afternoon, I'm Jordan Hessian.
And I'm Meredith Lee. Thanks for joining us on the Center County Report. Our top story, new information on the death of a Penn State student. 19-year-old Justine Gross was found dead in November, a day after she was reported missing in State College. Now, the coroner's office has ruled her death accidental. It says Gross suffered severe trauma from falling 11 stories at her apartment building. The coroner says tests showed marijuana and alcohol in her system, but they say there's no new information to indicate her death was criminal.
A petition from a local advocacy group is asking the Center County DA's office to drop a legal case against a teenager. That teen is accused of assaulting another student in a school fight. The Center County Report obtained this cell phone video of the fight at State College High School on February 1st. We're not naming the students because they're juveniles. The fight reportedly happened after a photo circulated of a white student wearing a racial slur and anti-Semitic images. The local NAACP and the 320 Coalition claim the 16-year-old black student suspect was harassed, bullied, and threatened with hate speech.
I understand, like, you assaulted somebody, but you, at the same time, like, if you push somebody, like, if you're provoking somebody, it's gonna be repercussions some type of way.
The DA's office says it won't comment on the case because it involves a juvenile.
A Penn State student accused of assaulting a nurse faces criminal charges. Police arrested Seth Bullenbach last week after they say he assaulted a nurse at Mount Nittany Medical Center. There's been an increase in violence against healthcare workers nationwide in the last 2 years. They account for about half of all workplace violence victims, according to a federal study.
2 police officers came away unhurt after a scary surprise with a runaway tire in Bellefonte. The officers were monitoring traffic on Zion Road in Spring Township this week when a pickup truck lost a tire. That tire flew right at the police cruiser and slammed into the windshield. The car was damaged, but luckily no one was hurt.
State College is struggling to fill many of the available retail and commercial spaces downtown. While students are renting in newly built high-rises, businesses have been slower to move in. Reporter Casey Zanowick explains.
The recent high-rise boom in downtown State College has added roughly 320,000 square feet of retail and commercial space to the borough. Yet, many of these locations remain empty. Zoning changes started downtown in the early 2000s. It helped usher in large, high-density projects focused on mixed-use development. Although the first goal was to create more Penn State student housing, another objective was to lure more businesses to locate and set up in the area. Borough Director of Planning and Community Development, Ed LeClaire, said these zoning changes essentially forced companies to build these spaces.
Our zoning essentially requires those 2 floors of commercial space, and it incentivizes it by giving additional height and additional density.
Many of these high-rises are built in prime locations that provide excellent opportunities for businesses. The problem, however, is external, with factors such as parking, national property owners, and the COVID-19 pandemic causing a lot of business owners to reconsider whether the move is worth it.
Agua Vivir is one business that's taken advantage of these new spaces. Owner Gregory Wolf says it's difficult for businesses because many developers only care about housing, not commercial space.
A lot of these companies that want to build a high-rise, when they do the math, they know that they're going to be fine if they fill it with students, and they don't care about the commercial space.
The borough is working with its redevelopment authority to provide new businesses with grants or loans to help make these spaces more obtainable. They hope the empty storefronts will soon be filled. In State College, I'm Casey Zanowick for the Center County Report.
Moving forward, the borough plans to work with the Downtown Improvement District to see what kind of businesses they should be trying to recruit.
Airlines are working hard to recruit new pilots. There's a growing shortage of pilots nationwide. Reporter Paige Barato talked with Pennsylvania Jet Company about the challenges.
Early in the pandemic, air travel plummeted and airlines parked planes and furloughed staff. But now, travel is taking off in a big way, but severe staffing shortages are starting to add up to big trouble.
It's becoming more difficult to find pilots.
According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics and Data, there are close to 15,000 job openings for pilots nationwide. Here in Pennsylvania, AMG Private Jet Service VP Mike Crognall says he's seen the impacts of the pilot shortage. And fixing the problem isn't easy, because becoming a pilot may be harder than you think. There's significant training, including at least 1,500 hours of flying time required. And getting your pilot's license can cost up to $100,000.
It's always been expensive to do pilot training, but it's becoming even more expensive now because fuel costs are going up, supply chain with like every industry.
Airlines like United and Delta are even opening flight schools to help with the shortage, and AMG is offering similar incentives.
We're offering like training, for guys to continue here, opportunity for growth in our company, compensation's been going up, employee benefits.
From University Park, I'm Paige Baruto with the Center County Report.
With the requirement of 1,500 flight time hours, it takes most candidates 2 years to complete their license, leaving a shortage in the foreseeable future.
In a nice change of pace, the number of new COVID cases and hospitalizations continues to drop in our area. Today, Mount Nittany Medical Center is treating 21 COVID patients. That's the lowest number in months, and it's down 10 since last Saturday. And Penn State's cases are rapidly dropping too. University Park reports just 89 positive tests in the last 7 days.
COVID protocols will be in place as Penn State's Thon kicks off tonight. The 46-hour dance marathon raises millions of dollars to help fight childhood cancer. Reporter Brooke Stake is live at the Bryce Jordan Center as the countdown to Thon enters the final hours. Brooke?
Thanks, guys. I'm here at the Bryce Jordan Center where Penn State students and Thon volunteers are setting up Thon Weekend 2022. This is the first time Thon is back in person in almost 2 years. There have been so many events on campus this week, but on Tuesday, I got to stop by the No Hair, Don't Care event at the Hub Robeson Center where participants shaved their heads for the kids. Take a look.
It's that time of year. Bald is back. Thon volunteers hosted their annual No Hair, Don't Care event this week to raise awareness in the fight against childhood cancer. The idea is to show support for those who have lost their hair from cancer treatments. Participants shaved their heads before this weekend's Thon Dance Marathon, Penn State's 46-hour cancer research and support fundraiser. Thon volunteer TJ Schaefer is one of them.
A couple of my merchandise co-captains talked about doing this as a joke like a couple months ago. And then one thing after another, we were like, why not? Let's do it. It's my last year as a Thon volunteer. So I thought, why the heck not? And I feel awesome to be here.
The theme of this event was an old school barber shop, with the first 140 people getting a free custom headband to show their support. As preparations wrap up for Thon at the Bryce Jordan Center, senior Corinne Parisky says it's a year-long passion.
It has been an awesome year. We had a hair donation event during 100 Days Till Thon back in November, October, and then we have one this weekend during Thon Weekend on the stage where all of that hair will be donated to Wigs for Kids.
Events like these aim to provide emotional and financial support to families of kids fighting cancer.
Thon kicks off in just 6 hours here at the Bryce Jordan Center and wraps up Sunday afternoon. In University Park, I'm Brooke Stake. Now back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Brooke. Still to come on the Center County Report, winter is back. We have the weekend forecast.
Plus, a new action sports park is coming to our area. Also coming up, we'll have local reaction to the building crisis at the Russian-Ukrainian border.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
You're doing great. We're gonna try this again, okay?
Okay.
Wheels, pedals, handlebar, brakes. Sit up straight, keep your weight in the center, keep your eyes on the road, hands on the grips, button the seat. If we feel ourselves falling, what do?
Just keep
pedaling. Good girl. Now remember, it's all about balance and steering. Steer with your hands, steer with your body. Steer into the corners and you stay out of trouble. And the bell's your buddy, so go ahead and ding that. All right, you ready? Here we go. Pedal, honey, pedal. There you go, you're a bike rider.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
The crisis on the border of Russia and Ukraine continues today. With tensions high over a Russian military buildup, this worldwide story is impacting people in our area too. Reporter Charles Reinert has more.
The tension on the Russia-Ukraine border has made worldwide headlines for weeks. But this story hits home for some students at Penn State University. Renata Hammond is from Ukraine and Andriy Alipov is from Russia. Hammond has been living in the U.S. since 2016 and says the crisis back home has distracted her from her day-to-day life.
When I first came here, it wasn't really affecting me because not much was going on there, and now it's like getting worse.
The situation hits home for Alipov too, who's from Moscow.
No one wants the war, and that's the point. And there is a lot of uncertainty right now, and that's the main kind of problem.
Alipov hasn't been home since August because of the tensions between the U.S. and Russia and embassy closings. In recent weeks, thousands of Russian troops have massed on the Ukrainian border, and there are fears of a full-scale Russian attack. But fighting between Russian separatists and Ukrainian soldiers isn't new. It's been happening for 8 years. Penn State Barron political science professor Lena Sershko-Harned says only now are most people taking notice.
I wish they would be paying attention more closely for the last 8 years, not just right now. Because I think in many ways, some of my colleagues who suggest that lack of attention to Russia has been part of this problem. I completely concur.
President Joe Biden says any Russian attack would bring severe consequences. While the issue between Ukraine and Russia may seem like a world away, conflict between the two countries could impact us here in the United States more than we may realize. But even now in times of uncertainty, a desire for peace still remains. Reporting from State College, I'm Charles Reinert for the Center County Report.
Pennsylvania U.S. Senator Pat Toomey is also reacting to the Russia-Ukraine situation. Here's what he said during an interview with CNN.
A military invasion of a sovereign state on the edge of Western Europe is completely unacceptable. And here's the thing, this is the way I think about it, Jake. Our goal, if Putin were to make this mistake and invade Ukraine, our goal has to be that he eventually comes to the conclusion that that was a mistake and that he never should have done it.
We'll bring you any breaking news on the Ukraine story as it comes in. After the past few days of warmer temperatures, the winter weather is making a comeback. Right now we have a live look at the Beaver Stadium. We're sitting at just 28 degrees right now, but it feels like 18 out there because of this wind chill we have. So it's definitely a chilly day out there today. If we take a look at the temperatures in the region, 28 in State College, a little warmer, 40 degrees down in Harrisburg, 46 in Philadelphia, and much cooler up near our lakes, 22 in Erie and 22 in Franklin as well. Now, if we take a look at our 24-hour temperature change across the board, much cooler today than we were yesterday. We're sitting 20 degrees below our temperature in State College yesterday, so definitely a chilly one out there today. Now, if we take a look at our futurecast, we do have some flurries up there in the northwest. However, this system, as it moves down into State College, it's going to pretty much dissipate, so we shouldn't see too much of its effects here in State College, but you might want to look out for those flurries on your morning commute on Saturday. As time progresses, that system makes its way out, and we should have clear weather for the rest of the weekend. Now, this snow flurries are all thanks to this clipper system we have up here moving down from the northwest.
Like I said, that system moves out pretty clearly, leaving us with a warm front, and that's going to bring us some of those warmer temperatures and clear skies for the rest of the weekend. We'll see those clear skies up until Wednesday. Around midnight Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, we'll see some of this rain across the board in Pennsylvania. Pretty rainy day there. And as time progresses by Thursday, we're going to get another chance of that winter weather, that freezing rain and snow, so you're going to want to look out for that on Thursday. Now, if we take a look at our forecast for today, like I said, back to winter, 30 degrees today, wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour, so we're going to feel a lot of that wind chill out there today. Taking a look at tonight, that wind will calm down a little bit, falling back to just 16 degrees out there and clear skies overnight tonight. Taking a look at tomorrow, partly cloudy, 35 degrees, and again, that wind chill is going to hit us hard tomorrow, gusts up to 45 miles per hour, so it's going to be even colder out there than it feels like, so you're going to want to bundle up tomorrow as well. Taking a look at our 7-day forecast, like I said, winter is returning. Few flurries early on tomorrow morning, and as time progresses, Sunday, Monday, we'll see some of those warmer temperatures creeping up. Steady rain Tuesday into Wednesday, and by the time we get to Thursday, that winter weather will return again. We'll have to prepare for some of those flurries.
Well, I do love the winter weather. I love looking at snow, but I certainly don't like driving in it.
I'm over with this winter weather. Please just get me to those warmer days upcoming next week.
But it looks like we have a nice thing to look forward to whenever the weather does get warmer. Jordan, why don't you tell us all about it?
Well, plans are underway for a new action sports park in State College. A timeline for the project was proposed to the Borough Council this week, with construction set to begin around late summer this year. The 20,000 square foot venue will be in High Point Park off West Whitehall Road. It'll have amenities for skateboards, BMX bikes, and scooters. New Line Skate Parks, the company designing and constructing this project, has developed more than 300 skate parks in the last 20 years. Now here's Zach with more sports.
Thanks, Jordan. Lots of action to break down across Penn State Athletics. From big wins on the hardwood in the BJC to the sound of bats cracking and gloves popping returning to the diamond. That and much more coming up next on the Center County Report.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Hi, I'm Peter. And there's nothing I love more than sharing vegetables with my friends. Come on in! Help yourself to anything. That's why we give our food the utmost respect it deserves. Did you know there are simple steps we can all take to help save food? You can cook it, store it, even share it. Just don't waste it. Because when it comes to food, better ate than never. To learn more, visit SaveTheFood.com.
This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Remember that to love America is to love all Americans. Because love has no labels.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
So you see, son, good manners are important. Should I go through it again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, excuse me, sit up straight, hold doors open for ladies. If the door's locked, knock first, don't burp, don't swear, don't stare, don't use bad language, or talk with your mouth full, keep your elbows off the table.
What table?
Don't interrupt. Cover your mouth when you cough or sneeze. On the bus, give your seat up to anybody who has trouble standing. Bottom line, treat others the way you want to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
Good talk.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
I'm Zach Gershman with sports. Nittany Lions basketball travels to College Park on Monday to take on Maryland. After a rough losing skid, Penn State's looking to make it 3 in a row after a pair of wins in the Bryce Jordan Center. Reporter Eric Fenstermaker has more on the team's recent success.
Back-to-back home wins could bring new energy to the struggling Nittany Lions. The blue and white knocked off the 19th-ranked Michigan State Spartans 62-58 on Tuesday night. John Harrar finished with his 7th double-double of the year, recording 16 points and a career-high 16 rebounds. Coach Micah Shrewsbury said Harrar's passion for the game pushed the team to victory.
John's a warrior, man. He's a warrior. He gives you everything he has in terms of effort. That's all it is. It's pure effort, heart, determination, and love for Penn State.
Last night, the Nittany Lions kept the momentum going as they pounded Minnesota 67-46. Penn State started strong, allowing just 19 first-half points. Going into the week, Penn State had just 1 win in the last month. Now, the team has 2 wins in the last 3 days. Wins like these could help propel the struggling squad forward.
I think a game like this, it helps us with a little bit of momentum. You know, people are feeling good. You know, the team has a good morale. A win like this can, push us forward.
The Lions hope to finish strong as they wrap up the regular season over the next 2 weeks. In University Park, I'm Eric Fenstermaker for the Center County Report.
For the 7th straight season, the Nittany Lions have beat at least one top 25 team in the Bryce Jordan Center. High school basketball is starting to heat up as teams now move deeper into the playoffs. After advancing to the championship game, the State College Little Lions are waiting for their opponent in the District 6 championship game. That'll be played at Mount Aloysius College next Thursday. And the girls basketball team, they'll travel to the Mountain City on Monday for a 7 p.m. matchup against Altoona. In their final home game of the season, the girls team lost to Mifflin County 57-46. Penn State hockey takes to the ice tonight to start a 2-game series against Minnesota. The Nittany Lions sit a game below 500 after they were swept in South Bend against Notre Dame 2 weeks ago. Coach Guy Godowski says the key to a much-needed win is avoiding the penalty box.
We're still, I hate to admit it, but a little bit fragile that if we get ourselves in penalty trouble and we get frustrated. So number one, we have to find that balance of playing extremely hard with staying out of the box.
Penn State's series against Minnesota is one of their final 2 before the Big Ten tournament in March. Penn State men's lacrosse looks to get back on track tomorrow at St. Joseph's. The Lions dropped to a record of 1-2 after losing 16-10 to Vermont on Wednesday. Despite the loss, senior midfielder Dan Rayoum with the nifty goal there, the second of his career-high 4 goals in the contest. Penn State starts Big Ten competition versus Maryland on March 27th. We still have some winter left in State College, but the sights and sounds of baseball have finally returned. Rob Cooper's Penn State baseball team is back on track on the diamond for the first time in 265 days. They welcomed back 24 players from last year's squad, including second-team All-Big Ten catcher Matt Wood. The power hitter and brick wall behind the dish was also named the highest-ranked catcher in the Big Ten, according to D1 Baseball's preseason rankings. Penn State baseball won 18 games in the Big Ten only season in 2021, but are looking for win number 1 today against the Hawks of Monmouth in Cary, North Carolina, off to a rocky start though, down 2-0 in the top of the second. And circle your calendars because Penn State football will return to Beaver Stadium for the annual Blue-White game on Saturday, April 23rd. Kickoff scheduled for 2 p.m. and admission is free. You can also listen to the game live on Penn State's Com Radio. That's all for sports. Now back to you at the anchor's desk.
Thank you, Zach. And coming up next, after decades of teaching, a Penn State professor has achieved a lifelong goal on New York's Broadway. Stay with us.
taught him how to hit a baseball, how to hit a receiver, the strike zone, the net. You taught him how to hit the upper corner. You even taught him how to hit the open man. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit?
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
A Penn State professor is now directing a show on Broadway. This is the show Thoughts of a Colored Man. Before it hit Broadway, Steve Broadnax, head of the MFA acting program, has worked at Penn State for almost 2 decades. Now his dream to work on Broadway has come true. Broadnax is directing the show written by Keenan Scott. It's scheduled to run until mid-March.
Sun kisses my skin, and I ask the Lord to take away my sins.
That's all for today's newscast. We hope you'll join us next Friday for our next local news update.
Well, you can
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who once took care of you.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
Your daughter is having trouble learning French. Do you A, hire a tutor?
Bonjour.
B, enforce a French-only rule at home? Or C, watch some foreign films? When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers, but that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
sun kisses my skin, and I ask the Lord to take away my sins.
That's all for today's newscast. We hope you'll join us next Friday for our next local news update.
But you can follow us anytime for our breaking news on our Center County Report Twitter. And you can see our stories on our Facebook page and on our website. Have a good afternoon.
Yeah.